Hello, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see here, we're here for the 2019-20 season recap with our FIFA 20 Kit Quest career mode with Heung-Min Son as the Kit Quest player, and the kit of focus the Tottenham Hotspur 2019-20 home kit. Yeah, so here for the season recaps, we'll kind of just get into it, just starting with the kind of how we did in the various competitions. So, let's see here, Premier League, we've had, I'd say, a pretty solid season with 91 points. 28 wins, 7 draws, 3 losses. But it wasn't enough to even finish top 2. Finished third behind Man City, who finished with 98 points, and Liverpool, who only lost one game, I guess, who finished with 107 points, which is absolutely ridiculous. Let's see, were we the team that beat Liverpool? I feel like the answer is no. I'm just going to double check. Now we lost them 2-4 on match day 22. And lost them 3-0 on match day 10. So our 2 over 3 losses were against Liverpool. Who was our other loss against? I feel like it was like Chelsea or something. No, it was against Man United on match day 34. Okay. Yes, those were our 3 losses. So third goal at the beginning of the season was top 4, so we finished top 4, but didn't win the title. So that's one trophy, like of the, was it 4 possible? No, yeah, 4, because we had the Premier League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and the Champions League. So that's the 4 possible trophies, 31 we missed. So let's check out FA Cup. As see here, Liverpool beat Man City in the final 1-0, which means we didn't win the FA Cup. So let's kind of see how do we do in the competition. So yeah, I gotta start at round 3, where we faced Preston North End in the first round 3, and obviously this is the under Jose where they like Spurs drew their round 3 and 4 matchups and had to do replays and then won both of those. So I did a kind of simming rounds 3 and 4. Just because this is the older system where like you can't really slow sim it, so I just like straight up simmed it, just because that's how it works in this game, which is kind of unfortunate. But we won 3-1 as you see with goals from Eric Lamela, Troy Parrott, and Heung-Min Son. And round 4, we got a match against Hull City, and simmed that one. And we had goals from Juan Foyth, Gio Lo Celso, and Heung-Min Son to win that 3-1 as well. And round 5 is for Spurs. They had drawn the match and then knocked out on pens. In round 5, I think, was it against City? Who was it against? FA Cup. No, it was against Norwich. Jeez Louise. Okay. Okay, so they got knocked out on pens against Norwich. So, we got a matchup against Palace. Kind of then simmed it. We won 3-1 again, with goals from Eric Lamela, Gio Lo Celso, and Harry Kane. And then round 6 / the quarterfinals, we got pretty much the best matchup of the lot, pretty much against Wigan Athletic. Kind of did the old last 5 matchups thing. I'm pretty sure were they all wins. Let's go last 5. No, Wigan it wasn't. Okay. So I checked them all in the randomizer, and we got play. So we won 2-0. That's goals from Gio Lo Celso and Deli, with assists from Troy Parrott and Steven Bergwijn. And Steven Bergwijn was the man of the match. And then semifinals, we got a matchup against Liverpool. You gotta check the last 5 results, literally were all losses. So I had to sim the match full strength. That's I think why we lost the Man United match before, because they like rotated some players for that one. And put out a full strength lineup for the FA Cup tie against Liverpool. And I guess probably in classic Jose Mourinho fashion, it finished 0-0. But then we lost on pens 5-4. So that sucked. And then Liverpool went on to beat City 1-0 in the final. As Liverpool, I think, are kind of season unstoppable. This is the year obviously they won the league. It was like the weird COVID year, but they won the league this year. That year, they're kind of basically unstoppable. All right, next competition is the Carabao Cup, which you can see here. We beat Wolves in the final 3-0 to win a trophy. So this is a successful Kit Quest career mode. It's gonna be another one and done. So what's going to come after this, we'll get into it at the end. But yeah, so successful, which I was pretty surprised, considering how bad this like it wasn't even necessarily bad per se, but it was like very medium middle of the road it was for Spurs that year under Pochettino and then Mourinho. But yes, we made it to the final and beat Wolves. How did we get there? So obviously in real life, that year. They got knocked out on pens to Colchester United after a 0-0 draw in the Carabao Cup that year. So we started off in round 3 as well against Nottingham Forest when they were in the Championship. So I simmed the match, and we won 1-0 with a goal from Lucas Moura to take us to the next round, which is exciting. So in round 4, got a matchup against Southampton, again, because this is like basically a brand new, like they didn't get that far, so I checked the last 5 results in the randomizer. Let's see, what did we get? We got Sim, so then simulated the match with a pretty strong side, and won 2-0 with goals from Harry Kane and Giovanni Lo Celso. Quarterfinals, got a matchup against Crystal Palace. So again, I checked those results in the randomizer, got play, and we won 2-0 with goals from Harry Kane and Lucas Moura, with assists by Tanguy Ndombele and Harry Kane. So Harry Kane was man of the match in that win. Semifinals, we got matched up against Aston Villa. So again, check those results. Actually, I think I had checked the results. This is the one where it was like our last 5 matches against Villa from like the 2019-20 season prior were all wins. So I didn't have to check. Oops, I clicked the wrong thing there for a second. There we go. Fixtures. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. But yeah, so we got a matchup against Villa. So I played both matches. So the first leg was at home. We drew 2-2, which we had goals from Dele and Son with Kane and Dele assists. So Dele was man of the match. That one was like, God. Like I think I went up 1-0, and then like I might even have been up 2-0. All I know is basically like the first goal again we conceded was like I had the ball with Hugo, try to pass it, like play the ball at the back, and like I like try to pass it. I think it's like Serge Aurier or Toby, and like the game just botched the pass like right into the feet of like the Villa player, and they just like scored an empty net. And then like the second goal was like something somewhat similar in the sense, which is like bad mistake out of the back, and like nothing I could do about it. Which is kind of annoying, but it was 2-2, so it was all to play for into the second leg, and I knew that I was going to be able to play it because of the last 5 matchups. So I was like, all right. And it was pretty upsetting because I wanted to have like a lead coming in, so I kind of Mourinho ball, like below block and counter, like in the second leg with the lead, but couldn't, so I had to kind of go a bit more on the offensive in the second leg, which we won 3-1 with Harry Kane brace, Son goal, and then 2 assists from Dele and Ryan Sessegnon. So Harry Kane was man of the match, so we ended up winning 3-1, which is nice. And then again, final against Wolves, kind of again chucked it, and the randomizer got play. So I was like, all right, sweet, we have a chance to win the final here, as long as I don't do what I did against Villa. So I kind of locked in and focused. And we won 3-0 with 2 goals from Harry Kane. First one assisted by Harry Winks. Second one assisted by Dele. And the third goal was from Sonny to cap things off with the Giovanni Lo Celso assist, which you'll see the highlights from that in the kind of at the end here. We'll have like the trophy ceremony and all that, and then highlights package that kind of came with it at the end, so you'll get to see all the goals, which would be nice. But yeah, that was basically like peak Mourinho ball. I was able to like a low block prevent shot, like even like better than Mourinho ball. So like they prevent shots from Wolves and then just hit him on the counter and stuff. So that was pretty exciting, winning the cup. So after that, I was kind of pretty like excited and locked in because I basically knew we weren't going to win the league because Liverpool was like so far ahead for most of the season. So I was like, all right, we got a trophy. We're good. So like, no matter what happens, the league doesn't really matter. And then like FA Cup, I was still trying obviously because we got to the semifinals. And then last competition was the Champions League. So let's get to that. That's the preseason, the Super Cup, Champions League. Obviously, see we didn't win that either. So we went 1-4, but the trophy's a trophy, so I'll take it. But Liverpool was kind of pretty OP, beating Bayern 2-0. So let's check out kind of how it did. Because Spurs made it out of the group stage that year, and then lost to, I think, RB Leipzig. They got like smashed by RB Leipzig over 2 legs in the round of 16. So in the group stage, obviously, Derry City was not in our group. It was like, who was the actual team in our group? I think it was like a Serbian team. Yeah, it was Red Star Belgrade from Serbia. So I guess they're not in the game, so they replaced them with Derry City for whatever reason. So yeah, it was us, Bayern, and Olympiacos. So we had 3 wins, which were like both 2 against Derry City, because Spurs had beaten Red Star Belgrade both the matches, and then 1 against Olympiacos. The 2 draws, I feel like one was against Olympiacos. Where's the group stage stuff? Yeah, Derry City. Yeah, one was against Olympiacos, and one was in the opening fixture of the group stage against Bayern. Then our 1 loss was to Bayern as well. So in round of 16, finishing second, we kind of knew we were probably going to get an unfavorable matchup. And because we're simming it, we're kind of probably screwed if we did. And we got Barcelona in the round of 16 of the Champions League, so that was not great. And see, I had to sim both matches. That's obviously Spurs lost both legs against Leipzig. So I put out my strongest lineups, and it did not matter. First leg we lost 3-1 with a goal from Sonny. And then we lost the second leg 2-1 with a goal from Deli for a 5-2 aggregate loss, which was unfortunate, but it's what it is. So then obviously Liverpool won the Champions League, so it's kind of like the other competitions quickly, I guess. It's just the Europa League, so this is pre-Conference League, obviously. But yeah, so Wolves beat Man United in the final of that. And then I think that's it for competition. So yeah, so it ended up being a successful season on the Carabao Cup front, the Cup front pretty much, because we made it to the semifinals of the FA Cup, and then won the Carabao Cup, and then Champions League was alright, and then the league was pretty solid as well, finishing third to satisfy the board. So I guess before we look at player stats, I guess why don't we look at the board goals just to see. Actually, why don't we do transfers first, which are going to be very boring. That's the wrong thing. Or is it? There it is. My club. We're going to sort it by date. Oh, I think is it already sorted by date? The other way. Here we go. So yeah, transfers. I will say now we didn't bring any players in because in this version, in this FIFA 20, there was like a bajillion youngsters at the club, which basically took up spots. I only like to bring in new players who were kind of like Pep, and since I want like a smaller squad, so I want like basically just like the squad of 22 to 25. So in order to do that, you have to in order to bring in players, I want to cut down players in that same position. If we have like enough a starter and a backup already, so we don't need to bring anyone else in. So I didn't bring any players in. Which kind of makes sense, obviously, because like this has all the business Spurs have done already, so like in and out, so it kind of makes sense. We don't really have any room for anyone. But yeah, so I set a bunch of long youngsters on loan. Eric Dyer to Valencia for £14 million. Victor Wanyama to Borussia Mönchengladbach for 6.9. And then Jan to Liverpool. So I guess Jan, he went on to basically, what was it, the treble, because they won the league, Champions League, and the FA Cup. So Super Jan with the for £25 million at Liverpool for all our transfers, and then there's a bunch more loans for kids there. So yeah, pretty boring transfer business. We had a decent squad to begin with, I would say. That's actually not really true. It's just we're limited because of the absolute large number of youth players that were in there. But in terms of goals from Daniel Levy and the board, so youth development didn't complete either because we didn't sign any players. So the bottom one's going to happen, and then the top one, youth academy, I'd never touch. So that wasn't going to happen. Brand exposure, they wanted us to get 180 mil in earnings from short sales, which we got pretty much after the last game of the season. So we just nicked it and got it. And long term, they wanted us to earn 342 competition prize winning 3 seasons. So we're already about 58%, so it's pretty solid there. Doesn't really matter because we're success. Financially, they want to increase the club worth by 15%. We were able to do that pretty early on somehow. I don't understand how, but we did. And domestic success, they wanted to finish top 4. We finished 3rd. They want us to win the FA Cup, but we only made it to the semi-finals, which I say is pretty solid. Then we won the Carabao Cup, which I say is a pretty good replacement. It's a cup. And then continental success, they wanted to reach the semi-finals of the Champions League, and we obviously got bashed in by Barcelona in the round of 16. So then kind of to wrap up here, the player stats. So kind of like scroll through a lot of them, and then kind of point out who was like on various lists for like goals and assists and stuff. So we go to the squad hub. So obviously we had Hugo and Paolo as our goalies. So Hugo was fourth in the league for clean sheets with 12 in 26 league matches, which is pretty solid. Then he had a good amount in the Carabao Cup, obviously the Carabao Cup final, and then some of the Champions League and FA Cup. And Paolo, again, pretty solid backup, used him a decent amount in the Prem. As well as you can see, he finished 10th with 7 clean sheets, which is pretty solid stuff from him. Ben Davis here, pretty solid season at left back. Or back at left back was Sessignon, but he's like his primary position is left mid. But see here, it's like if I wanted to bring in like a new left back, we had these two players already on loan, and then Zedad Hardwhite on loan also. And like center backs, we had like a bunch of kids. So alongside had Jeff at Tanganga stay behind because he was the highest rated of them. Then Juan Foyth as well was there were 2 backups with Davidson and Toby as our starters. Then right back again, kind of similar situation because Kyle Walker-Peters is on loan at Southampton. Had to keep Tariq Hines here back as Serge Aurier's backup. Even though he was like a 61 overall start of the season, but Serge Aurier had a decent season as well. CDM, kind of same situation. We had 4 different youth players. Then Sessignon was backup left back, as I said. And here's Sonny. We'll kind of scroll back to him at the end. But kind of center mid, we had Jens Fernandez as backup CDM. One of the CDMs, Gio, was the backup number 10. The Musa, Tanguy, and Winks also were the CDMs. All had pretty solid seasons. And then I say Gio also had a pretty great season as a kind of backup and then cup kind of guy as well. And then Deli had a pretty excellent season as well. He finished 6th in the league in assists with 9, which is pretty solid. 18 goals, 15 assists in all competitions, pretty good stuff. Lucas had like a 3-month injury, so that's why his number of appearances is pretty low. Eric Lamela was Sonny's backup, had a pretty solid season. And Steven Bergman was Lucas's backup, but ended up playing a lot more because of Lucas's like couple-month injury. Pretty solid season as well. And Troy Parrott he stayed behind, was H's backup. Pretty decent season for him as well. So he was like in terms of like average like match rating, he was the highest. Probably he played like only a few matches and scored pretty much every match. Then Harry Kane, excellent season from him. He finished 5th in the league in the Golden Boot race with 22 goals, which is 9 behind Sadio Mane, who had the most. Most clean sheets is Alisson from Liverpool, unsurprisingly, because they like dominated the league. And then Harry also finished 5th in assists, 10, with Raheem Sterling at Man City being the leader in that category with 15. So, just stuff there. But yeah, so we'll kind of wrap up here looking at Sonny's stats. Where are you at, Sonny? There he is, and the nice home kit from that year. But yes, Sonny had a pretty excellent season, I'd say. 25 goals, 5 assists in all competitions. Pretty solid stuff. 13 goals in the Prem. Pretty good stuff. 3 assists, pretty sure all came in one match that I played at the beginning of the season, I feel like. No, he had a hat-trick the first match of the season. No, okay, so that's what I was thinking of. But yeah, so he had a hat-trick the first match of the season against Villa. But, yes, Sonny excellent season. 13 goals, 3 assists in the Prem. 3 goals in the Carabao Cup, obviously, including like the one that kind of put the game out of reach in the final. They did pretty well in the Champions League and the FA Cup as well. So all a good season for Sonny, good season for us as we won the Carabao Cup. Yes, this was another successful Kit Quest career mode, another one-season wonder, which I honestly wasn't expecting because the season was so big, but we got pretty lucky that most of the big fish got knocked out of the Carabao Cup pretty early, which actually I'm going to go in quickly and see where did all those big fish kind of get knocked out, because it was pretty surprising that the teams that were left, it's like us, Wolves, and Villa, and Everton. So let's just check it out. All right, because the final 4 was obviously Everton, Wolves, us, and Villa. So round 3, United didn't made it there. Oh, Man City got knocked out by Southampton on pens in round 3. Liverpool was fine. Okay. In round 4, Chelsea got knocked out by Middlesbrough. Then Man United knocked out Liverpool. Okay. And then Villa knocked out. Okay. That's interesting. But what? So you can do it that way, but not the other way. That's interesting. But yeah. So I guess we got pretty lucky in that sense. That a lot of those teams got like held to pens and then lost on pens. So we were able to kind of do a nice run in the Carabao Cup. I don't really know why everyone's upset or bad for. But I guess it doesn't really matter because we obviously this is it because we won the Carabao Cup. But yeah, here's Sonny. Pull his stats up like so. But yeah, so this was a fun one. A little weird because this is like obviously like kind of looking at like eras of these kind of games, like with NHL and FIFA. It's like different eras where things are like menus and things are very similar. So obviously like this was kind of like the last cutoff of the one like the prior kind of era of FIFA /SC, the FIFA 21 to like kind of now have been all very like kind of similar gameplay wise and like menu and stuff wise in terms of like how certain things work and stuff. This is kind of last of that era kind of FIFA where you didn't really have like sharpness, wasn't a thing. You didn't have to do like the training or whatever. Like there was no like slow simming or you could like watch like the little dots move on the screen and stuff. And the gameplay definitely felt very different compared to like the more modern game, like it's like 21 or like a newer. But yeah, it was a fun one because we won the Carabao Cup. So yeah, thank you for checking this one out. In terms of what's next on the channel, this was kind of fun, the last kind of piece of the puzzle before we move on. Because obviously the FGO Let's Play, we did Orleans like probably like a year ago, over a year ago maybe at this point. We've kind of been doing a lot of other stuff in between, along with like obviously a lot of the FGO events and stuff. But we're finally basically after over a year and moving on from Orleans into Septim, which is like this, sounding the third chapter. We call it the second chapter of part 1 of the story. So that should be exciting. Kind of meeting a new set of servants and stuff, and we're kind of basically gonna do that like video a day kind of situation. Play like through one section a day. Then once we kind of finish that, we'll start getting kind of back into this kind of stuff like Kit Quests, Jersey Quests, and other games with those kind of servants as like the managers and GMs and stuff. So yeah, this is a lot of fun. Kind of looking forward to starting Orleans and stuff. Not really starting Septim and whatnot. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Kind of learned a lot of things. My like methods have probably changed a little bit from beginning to then. So I've grown a little bit that way and kind of changed things around a little bit. But now that like Orleans is kind of a nice testing area. Kind of now going in the future, things kind of should potentially move a little faster and kind of be more streamlined and stuff, where I know exactly kind of how I want to do things with Kit Quests, Jersey Quests, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you for checking this out, and hopefully you check out us starting Septim as well.
Whistle, the cup issue is settled. A story of one side celebrating and the other distraught. And Lee, memories are being made.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter how much money you've got in the bank. Players will always look back at moments like these. These moments where you pick trophies up, win medals. Absolutely brilliant for this group of players.
Yeah, you can see what it means to this tight-knit team. Real solidarity.
Well, it's these moments, Derek, when you get your hands on the silverware, and that little medal that goes round your neck might seem small now, but you'll look back at that, show your grandkids. Absolutely superb memories these players will have of this game.
It's a special moment in the career of any footballer. And now for the trophy lift itself. The cup winners.
Yeah, it's been a long old road to get to this point. They're going to celebrate now, and certainly celebrate long into the night, I think.
There's always the element of chance in a cup competition, but my goodness, they've taken the rough with the smooth, and now they savour the moment. And this is really special, getting to celebrate in front of your own fans, Lee.
Well, it's giving something back. These fans have travelled all over the place following their team. Now they get to join in the celebrations, go into the crowd and give them the cup. That's what I say.
Well, then it might never find its way to the trophy cabinet, Lee.
Well, all that hard work along the way in this tournament all comes together at the end when you pick the trophy up. Just look at them celebrating. A brilliant moment.
Hard work indeed, Lee. The trophy now in their possession. Kane. Well, Spurs have misfired. An opportunity for 1-0.
Well, I thought the stalemate was going to be broken then, but it's a big, big miss.
Winks. Excellent vision. There it is! How about that for starters?
Well, what a huge moment that might be for this club. The fans are going up.
And return to Kane. Well, a moment he would dearly love to have back.
Well, listen, he's tried to hit it too hard. Just relax a little.
This is the home of light. Great ball from Son. And somehow he prevents a goal.
Well, it looked a certain goal, Derek. The agility, the reflex is unbelievable.
He's managed to get in behind. Son! Well, he didn't have it quite on the target, Lee.
Oh, it was a great opportunity. Sometimes you've got a choice, power or placement.
Well, they're sitting ever deeper. Kane. Shot attempted. And a goal it is for Tottenham Hotspur. Well on course for victory here. He's in with a chance. It really is such a free-scoring performance. Just nothing the defenders can do about it, seemingly.